What's up, guys? Welcome back to Supreme Micah. So in this upload, what I wanted to talk about was how long should your gym sessions be? One of the main reasons why I love this topic is because when I'm in the gym, some of the things that I see when people first start lifting weights is that they're either too long training or they're lifting too heavy. And this really goes to some of the people who are out of shape, or maybe they're in shape but they just have no type of muscle growth whatsoever and they're completely new to the gym. I'm not judging you though whatsoever, but one of the things that you really have to understand, it really does take weeks up to months for that to actually happen, for you to actually be able to grow muscle and for your muscles to be able to adapt. So an article from bodybuilding.com suggests that 30 minutes a session for a beginner should be typical. You can work out for longer periods with weights, but just don't overtrain the muscles. Now, that is extremely important, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier. While you're in the gym and you're just getting started, you're only going to be able to lift so much weight. Your muscles are only going to be adapted to so much weight and so much movement. You really have to work your way in there. Don't try to overstrain your muscles or hurt yourself by being too ambitious, trying to get your muscles to grow faster, because they will not grow as fast as you want them to, especially if you're not training correctly. And a lot of that goes down to your form, what you're eating. Are you getting enough protein? A lot of different things. The concept of wanting muscle growth fast is not realistic, and it's not realistic because most of the time when you're in the gym, the muscle doesn't grow there. It grows when you're resting. A lot of this is what I touch upon in some of my earlier videos, which you can actually watch. I'll leave a link for you now to see that. Now, I also wanted to touch on the topic in regards to how long you should be strength training for during any given day. Now, from Mayo Clinic, what I was able to find was how much should the average adult exercise every day? Now, reading it says strength training. Do strength training exercises for all major muscle groups at least twice a week. Okay, so it says aim to do a single set of each exercise. So further along, it says that using weight or resistance level heavy enough to tire your muscles after about 12 to 15 repetitions. Guys, if you've been following me, you already know that I mentioned that I like to keep my gym workouts or my gym sessions between 60 to 90 minutes. Now, a lot of people may say 90 minutes, well, you're overtraining. 60 minutes, oh, well, you're overtraining. No, I'm not. And the only reason behind that is because there are occasions where I do only attend the gym and I'm there for 45 minutes, and there are times where I'm there for longer, and a lot of that has to do with how heavy I'm lifting. And this goes into my next topic. A lot of the time when you're in the gym, you're probably going to be doing multiple sets and you're going to be doing multiple reps, right? So if you're lifting heavy, it's likely that your rest periods in between sets are probably going to be longer than someone who is lifting lighter than you. Because if you're lifting, let's say 315, you're squatting 315 or you're deadlifting 315, your rest periods might be 3 minutes, okay, compared to someone who's resting at a rate of 60 or 30 seconds in between each set, just because they're probably lifting lighter than you. So I want to go over what I spoke about in the beginning of the video. Someone who's just starting to weight lift, 30 minutes typically is what is suggested. But if you really want to get into weightlifting and you really want those muscles to build from that beginning stage, I think that increasing your time in the gym will only benefit you. I'm a strong believer in being able to keep your workouts at least 45 minutes and as long as an hour. If you're lifting heavy that day, then I think longer than 60 minutes is fine. Just making sure that you use the appropriate rest in between those sets that you're doing at that time, if it's deadlifting or squatting, or if you're bench pressing, for an example. Now, I've personally known people in the past that has used that methodology of, yes, an hour or less is what you need in the gym, and anything over an hour, you're overtraining. Well, to some degree, they can be right, and to some degree, they can be wrong. I really think it depends on whatever that person is trying to do in the gym, and whether or not if they're lifting heavier than someone else. And that just goes into what I was mentioning before. A lot goes into how long you're in the gym. It really depends on your goals. Another thing too is that someone can absolutely adapt that principle of not going over 60 minutes, but are you training hard enough? And I think that that's something that I really want to get into in another video. I think that a lot of people have this mentality that just because they're in the gym for an hour, that they're doing as much as they could in regards to lifting. And I think that that is completely unfortunate. I think that that's unfortunate because someone can be in the gym, but they're not working hard. You can be in the gym for an hour, but it doesn't mean that you're doing as much as you could do. I've seen people who have gone to the gym for an hour, and a lot of what they put in effort-wise, I think isn't showing how they probably perceived it to be. I think that a lot of the results that they could have is not there because the hour that they're putting in, it really isn't putting in as much work as they could. Now, I don't judge anyone, and I'm absolutely not perfect at all, but that's why I'm making these type of videos, because I'm a true believer of being able to push yourself and just making sure that you're able to grow. Something else that I wanted to get into as well is when you're, let's say, mixing your week in between days of weightlifting and doing cardio, I think that the way it should be done is maybe you lift 2 days in a row, and then that next day could be a rest day, or that next day could be light weights, lighter than what you were doing before. Try not to work out the same muscle group within 2 days straight of each other. That's something that you don't want to do. It's fine to do weightlifting one day and then the next day do cardio, but do not lift the same muscles, do not work out the same muscles back to back. You do not want to do that. That's not a great thing to do. You have to give your muscles time to recover, and if you're going back and lifting those same muscles that you did the day before, such as your biceps for an example, then that will effectively not give you the results that you were expecting. You can harm yourself, you can injure yourself, and your muscles actually won't grow. It's the opposite. So something that I really want to talk about is weightlifting and cardio and how that incorporates in your fitness routine. So me personally, I did do weightlifting and I also did cardio for about 3 months straight. Now, I must suggest to a lot of people out there who's thinking about doing this in their fitness routine that if you're going to weightlift and do cardio, let's say in the same day, then you're probably going to want to do cardio and then also do lighter weights. I would say, because how vigorous your cardio is, you probably want to make sure that your weightlifting is limited, because you're going to be tired. And that was my personal experience with that. When I ran 10K and then I tried to go and lift weights, I can most certainly lift weights, but there was a difference in between the energy that I had. Now, there is another thing that you can do as well. You can just do cardio one day, and then you can do your weightlifting another day. And I mentioned this just moments ago, that being able to, let's say, weightlift 2 days in a row, and then let's say do cardio the next day, and so on. So that's how you want to do it. You really want to make sure that you have a great workout routine around cardio and weightlifting, and just know how that affects your muscle growth as well. Now, in regards to how the cardio affected my muscle growth overall, I would say that I lost fat. I didn't really lose that much muscle. Now, if you're interested in doing this for your fitness routine, I would suggest that you are cautious about losing muscle, because it is only going to happen and it might affect people differently. Just because I didn't lose a lot of muscle doesn't mean that you won't lose a lot of muscle. So just make sure that you caution yourself, because it's just scientific about how you build muscle. In order to build muscle, you need fat. So if you're constantly burning your fat and you're doing cardio and you're burning those calories, it's going to be hard for you to actually keep up on gaining muscle. That's a topic that I want to get into another time, but just make sure that you stay cautious about that. Guys, I'm going to leave you with this. Whatever your goals are in regards to fitness and what you want out of your looks, your physique, then make sure that it's absolutely something that you want. Because a lot of what you listen to, a lot of what you see, it may not be exactly what you want. And if someone looks a certain way, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to look exactly like that. I think it really starts with overall you and what makes you happy and what you think is going to make you feel great inside. Okay, so whatever you have in regards to motivation, just make sure that you stick with it and the results will show, and be patient. Keep it pushing. Just make sure that the results will come. And if you're consistent enough, I'm more than certain that the muscle will come. They will show. You'll be able to get what you want out of everything that you've been putting into the gym. Guys, as always, I really do appreciate you for tuning into this channel. I just want you to hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment, and make sure that you subscribe. And I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you.